They tell you the hardest part of undercover work is the lying. They're wrong. The hardest part is the moment you realize your real name sounds like a stranger's, that the person you used to be is just a weak subplot in someone else's life. Welcome to the vacuum, where your face is a weapon and your soul is the entry fee. Level 1, the Snitch. The bass in Club Obsidian hits so hard, it feels like it's trying to shake your teeth loose. The air is a thick soup of smoke and cheap desperation. Across from you is Flacco, skinny, dead-eyed, with a gold tooth that catches the strobe light. He's waiting for you to count the pills. 20 blues, 30 whites. Your hands don't shake, though they should. The wire taped to your ribs burns like a hot coal against your skin. You know Detective Barnes is sitting in a van 3 blocks away, eating cold pizza and wondering if you're about to be disassembled. Your real name is Michael Torres. You have a wife who teaches 3rd grade and an 87,000-mile Subaru, but right now, you are Marco Reyes. You built this lie in front of a mirror for 3 months until it felt more real than your wedding vows. You take the tequila Flacco offers. It burns, but not as much as the knowledge that the door you just walked through only opens one way. Level 2. The runner's 6 months vanish like steam off hot pavement. You aren't in clubs anymore. You're driving packages through back roads at 3 a.m. There's a loaded Glock in the glove box you'll never report. The packages smell like diesel and grease. You don't ask what's inside. Your handler says you're doing great. Your wife says you're never home. You lie to her about overtime and stakeouts. And the distance between you grows until you're practicing your fake backstory more than your own memories. One night, an enforcer named Pescado tells you, "You drive like a cop. Your blood turns to slush. My uncle was highway patrol." You fire back. The lie is so smooth it scares you. You sit in your driveway later that night for 20 minutes, trying to remember how the real Michael would have answered. You can't. Level 3, the Witness. The first body drops on a Tuesday. Luis, he skimmed $2,000 and now he has a hole in his temple the size of a dime. You're there when they pull him from the ditch because the boss, Vega, wants you to see the cost of disloyalty. The smell hits you first. Copper, wet earth, and a rot that clings to the back of your throat. You don't vomit. You should. Instead, you nod solemnly and help load the van. That night, you write a report for Barnes that looks like a grocery list. You don't mention that Luis had a daughter in kindergarten or that you'd shared a cigarette with him last week. That's irrelevant. Sarah knows something is wrong. She thinks you're having an affair. An affair would be cleaner. It's just work. You say, she doesn't believe you. Neither do you. Level 4, the Collector. They move you to collections. You knock on doors and make people understand that payment isn't a suggestion. You learn to read the twitch of an eyelid, the hitch in a breath before a lie. You break a man's nose in his own kitchen while his wife watches. Barnes says you're getting close to the inner circle. Your reflection says you're getting close to a cliff. You start drinking, not for fun, but to blur the line between the mask and the face beneath. Sarah leaves on a Thursday. No screaming, just a note on the counter. You fold it into your wallet next to your fake ID. Michael Torres is becoming a legal document, nothing more. Level 5. The Ghost Participant. 18 months in, and you sleep with a gun under your pillow. You're mid-level now, drinking with men who've killed more people than you've ever arrested. You laugh at their jokes because silence is a death sentence. Your handler still says 1 more month. It's been a year. You've forgotten the scent of your own home. Michael Torres is a ghost you can barely conjure. Marco Reyes is the one who knows how to field strip a MAC-10 in 30 seconds. You stop reporting everything. Some details feel too much like betraying the only family you have left. Level 6, the Enforcer. They give you a gun and tell you to stand back up while Pescado kneecaps a rival. Your job is to watch the street, to be complicit, to be legally indistinguishable from the shooter. The DA says it's defensible. Your conscience says nothing. You silenced it months ago. You start making your own calls. You approve shipments you know will end up in the veins of kids. You become a node in a network of rot so vast that dismantling it feels like dismantling yourself. You see Sarah in a parking lot once. She looks away. You do the same. Level 7. The Lieutenant Vega trusts you. He shows you where the money is kept and how it's laundered through shell companies and crooked bankers. You memorize it all. Serial numbers, routing codes, the names of politicians who sold their souls for a percentage. Your apartment is a ghost town of unwashed dishes and unopened mail. You attend a wedding for Vega's nephew, toast the couple, then slip out to meet Barnes in a parking garage. You wonder if the groom knows his uncle's best friend is a Fed. Probably better if he doesn't. Level 8, the Architect. You aren't just watching anymore. You're designing routes, contingencies, strategic violence. The skills that made you a decent cop make you a brilliant criminal. Vega calls you his lucky charm. The sicarios call you El Sombra, the shadow. You move through their world without friction. You've authorized beatings. You've looked men in the eye and made promises you knew would be broken with knives. Barnes congratulates you. The word tastes like ash. Level 9. The Confidant Vega tells you his secrets. He talks about his son, his fears, and the first man he ever killed. You listen because it's your job, but something shifts. He isn't just a target, he's a flawed, trapped human being. The unforgivable part? You understand him better than the bureaucrats who sent you here. You start editing your reports. You protect the details that feel too intimate to weaponize. Barnes sees it in your eyes. He knows his asset is beginning to breathe the lie. Level 10, the right hand, 3 years and 2 months since the first bag of pills. You are now Vega's second in command. You authorize millions in shipments. You sit in rooms where life and death are decided over lunch. The police file on Marco Reyes is a masterpiece of documentation. You are a legend in two worlds, a hero in one, a monster in the other. The line between them evaporated so long ago you can't remember where it was. Barnes says extraction is next month. He says they'll relocate you to the mountains. You nod. You lie. You realize Marco Reyes is more real than the man you were supposed to be. The raid came on a Wednesday, 30 agents, flashbangs, and a revelation that detonated like a bomb. When they showed Vega your badge, his face wasn't full of rage. It was just disappointment, like a father discovering his son was a ghost. They gave you a new name, a new face, a studio apartment in a city where it always rains. Michael Torres is officially dead, buried under a sealed file. But as you sit there, staring at the mirror, you realize the mission never actually ended. Michael is gone. Not hidden, gone. The lie was supposed to be a tool. Instead, it became the only thing left breathing. The paperwork is filed. The man you were is dead. The lie is all you are.